This week's unsigned band looking for a big break is Screepers from Portsmouth. Here at SFX we're looking for the best unsigned band, so I'll be assessing their chances of success along with the rest of our panel of hard-nosed judges. And at the end of the series we'll find out what the audience thought too.
I know that I need some rearranging, but you won't come back again. I need somebody to fill my mind. You have left me in the dark. She knows half the truth. Alone in a sunken room. You tell me that I am such a king, but you are lying through your teeth. I was trying to be myself, but then you caught me off my guard. She knows none of this. Alone with the devil's kid.
Screeper was the worst name I've ever heard in my life.
It's not a band name at all. Not even the Screepers or Screep. He had a great voice. I thought he had a great voice at times.
It's really, really camp, this stuff. I mean, clearly the guy's completely passionately in love with David McAlmont, isn't he? I think he's also maybe been taking fashion tips from Sean Hughes.
I know that this got to be your way.
There's a lot of things to put you off them, but I think deep down there's something quite promising there. The singer clearly fancies himself something rotten, but I think other people will probably fancy him something rotten as well, so he's probably entitled.
The music was a bit bizarre. I mean, they had this beatbox drum machine going, and he didn't need it at all because the rhythms that it was playing didn't sound good on a drum machine. It would have been better from a drummer.
Alone in a sunken room, where is the person I thought I was? Why have I locked myself away? I show resistance to everything, and I can see you in my mind. She knows none of this. Alone with the devil's kids.
It's very melodramatic, really, isn't it? It's quite shrill. Whether or not you could stomach a whole album of that, I'm not entirely certain, but perhaps a single.
Maybe what they're doing at the moment is borrowing too many influences and trying to top up their act with that, and they don't need to.
You're gonna confuse yourself today. I'm gonna infect myself today. I know that there's got to be a way. Oh yeah, now.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone signed them. I think the songs need a lot of work. There's not really a... If you're going to be that kind of band, you've got to have big, catchy choruses. You've got to have, songs that are going to blare out of the radio. And they didn't have anything like that, but they were doing some interesting things.
They've obviously got a lot of imagination, and they are quite inventive with their sound, and I think they could do incredibly well.
I know that there's got to be a way.
Winners of the judges' vote, though, was Screeper from Portsmouth.
I always maintain that we're a pop band in the way that Beatles or the Beach Boys were pop bands in the 60s, but we're just using modern ways to put it across.
I think what we're trying to do is to do something different, just to do it our own way, not be led by anything else,
I know that I need some rearranging, but you won't come back again. I need somebody to fill my mind. You have left me in the dark.
Screeper was the worst name I've ever heard in my life.
It's not a band name at all. not even the Screepers or Screep or he had a great voice. I thought he had a great voice at times.
I thought it was quite funny that a bloke from Dodgy could find the name Screeper funny.
She knows half the truth. Alone in a sunken room, you tell me that I am such a king, but you are lying through your teeth. I was trying to be myself, but then you caught me off my guard. She knows none of this.
The singer clearly fancies himself something rotten, but I think other people will probably fancy him something rotten as well, so he's probably entitled.
On the whole, generally speaking, that was a fair comment.
I'm gonna infect myself today. I know that there's got to be a way.
The music was a bit bizarre. I mean, they had this beatbox drum machine going, and he didn't need it at all because the rhythms that it was playing didn't sound good on a drum machine. It would have been better from a drummer.
People come up to us and say, oh, that's cheating, not using a drummer, using a machine, a little box. But, you know, there's so much you've got to do before you can do that, pressing one button.
Alone in a sunken room, where is the person I thought I was? Why have I locked myself away? I show resistance to everything.
We went to top music marketing guru Scott Peering to get a bit of advice for Screeper on their next move.
They're quite an interesting band, and it's characterized by the lead singer. To me, he's a reminiscent of possibly David Byrne from the Talking Heads period, for example. Eccentric, interesting, unusual singing voice, and probably someone that would get bottled off stage in Newcastle or something like that.
She knows none of this. Alone with the devil's kids.
It wasn't quite weird enough for me. I want my bands to be something extraordinary, people that don't look like they've just walked in off the street, because you've got to stand out from the mass of other bands that are trying for exactly that same job and that same space on radio. I want a band that shows that they live, breathe, and die for their music, and I think a bit more, just really go into the weirdness, because I think they should really emphasize the eccentric bit.
I'm gonna infect myself today. I know that there's got to be a way. Oh yeah, now.
A fortune would be nice, but a bit of money to be able to live this lifestyle would be the first stop.
Yeah, yeah, generally more recognition for what we're doing, because I think on the whole what we're doing is quite special.
Oh yeah, now. You're gonna be eating words today. You're gonna confuse yourself today. I'm gonna inject myself today. I know that there's got to be a way. waiting. I feel so bad about your lack of conviction. You're no observer of this island and me, blind to the feelings of the new generation, deaf to the sufferings of the ones that have been. You've no compassion for the ones that lay stranded, nor for the wanderers that you've never seen, nor for the galleon's desperate sea, nor for the slaves of the wreck. And have you never walked this way? And have you never felt the pain? And have you never taken anything away from what you've seen? It's just a passion in my mind. It's just a feeling that's been made. But I just can't believe you're so wound up in your own heaven. You kiss the shadows and play with your new friends. I can see that you think they're better than me. You only like them because they are happy. One dead will turn bad, just wait and see. Blind to the feelings of the new generation, deaf to the sufferings of the ones that have been. You've no compassion for the ones that lay stranded, nor for the wanderers that you've never seen, nor for the galleon's desperate sea, nor for the slaves of the wreck. And have you never walked this way? And have you never felt the pain? And have you never taken anything away from what you've seen? It's just a passion in my mind. It's just a feeling that's been made. But I just can't believe you're so wound up in your own heaven. What am I gonna do? I got a cross for you. It was the first time too, and now it's broken through.
Well, rumour has it that several prestigious labels are out to nab Screeper and whisk them away to be corrupted by the nasty old rock and roll business. It looks like they could be the biggest thing to come out of Portsmouth since the Royal Yacht Britannia. What is so great about this band, Brian?
Well, I think they've just got something quirky and distinctive. Like the first thing you notice is this guy Dave Jones' voice. You know, it's something special about it. The way they use samples, that's quite interesting. I mean, a recent review in the NME said that they were the best band to come out of Portsmouth ever, and I don't know how big a compliment that is. Sorry, Portsmouth. But yeah, I mean, they're a real nifty little outfit, I think.
What influences can you actually hear in their music?
Well, you can hear it. They use a Captain Beefheart sample on their things, so that's, I think they're into a lot of their 60s stuff. They mentioned Scott Walker to me when I was talking to them. And the Beach Boys, not a really obvious influence, but I think influence in as much as that they think a lot about what they do. They're actually quite sophisticated musically.
What about using samples though? Because some would say that's just pinching other people's ideas.
Well, I'll take issue with that actually. I like hip-hop a lot, so I really like when people use samples in an imaginative way, not just nicking somebody else's hook the way your old Puff Daddy does. Sorry Puff, don't hit me. But anyway, I think Screeper pick up on that sort of hip-hop ethos of using samples in a creative way, just in a subtle way.
Excellent. Look out for Screeper. We think they're going to be massive. Join us after the break.